Georgia and parts of Florida race to prepare for a major hurricane. Our First Alert weather team ready with brand new information. Thank you so much for being with us this noon. I'm Joy Lim-Nakrin.
I'm Don Schiffman, and that's right. Let's get right over to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez in the Weather Center. You are tracking a very busy hours ahead here in the metro in Atlanta and also the coast.
Yeah, and even before Idalia approaches Florida and the Georgia coast, we have weather here locally this afternoon and this evening with very heavy rain again in the forecast. And I'm really concerned about the potential of flash flooding, especially as we head into the evening. The soil is already saturated. We had several inches of rain for some of us yesterday. So any additional heavy rain could cause some problems with additional flash flooding and problems on the road for the afternoon and evening commute. Right now, we are mostly dry on First Alert radar, but as we head into the afternoon, we do have a good 80% chance of rain with afternoon storms. And some of the storms will be big rain producers. Could see more inches of rain on top of what we've already had yesterday. As we head through the afternoon and evening, by 6 o'clock, already starting to see that coverage of rain increase. And then notice what happens as we head into tonight. I really expect the highest rain chances and the highest rain totals after sunset. So this evening, very heavy rain, including over metro Atlanta, with flash flooding possible even as we head into the overnight hours. And that's not even associated with Hurricane Idalia. Idalia will bring additional heavy rain, although the biggest impacts will be across South and Southeast Georgia. The storm right now is a Category 1 hurricane with 85-mile-an-hour winds, but it is expected to rapidly intensify over the incredibly warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. It is moving north at 14 miles an hour, and it is expected to be a Category 2 hurricane this afternoon, and then a Category 3 hurricane, a strong Category 3, as it makes landfall early Wednesday morning over the Big Bend of Florida, and then it will be a strong tropical storm as it skirts over South Georgia and along the Georgia coast. We will see problems with flooding. We will see problems with trees and power lines down, and we will see significant impacts on the coast in South Georgia. The impacts here at home will be minimal. We will see some of the outer bands impacting areas south and east of the metro area. We'll see wind gusts up to 20 miles an hour. So we'll feel some of those outer bands, but far and large, the biggest impacts will be to our south and east. We'll talk more about those impacts and impacts here locally and how long they'll impact tomorrow's forecast coming up.